Hello and welcome to the Long Island weather update. Actually turned out to be a pretty nice day. A little hot, but the sky was pretty nice. But it was a little hot out there, especially earlier on, and then toward the afternoon, especially once you were on the South Shore, it really started improving. You could see we had mostly clear skies throughout much of the day. A few cumulus over New Jersey. You'll notice some thunderstorms popping up there in Pennsylvania. There, what is that? Is that an outflow boundary right here? Take a look at this for a moment. Take a look at this. Look at how that just shoots northeastward like that. That looks like an outflow boundary. But anyway, what's this? This is some really strange. What is this kind of cloud, right? Look at this cloud right here. What is this, too? What is that? All right, a little bit of a strange satellite image. But anyway, showing you what the day was like today. It was really nice out. We definitely had blue skies. Enjoying some of the nicely leafed out trees here at Southard's Lake in Babylon, which in the afternoon was absolutely spectacular. Yeah, there's the lake right there. Very nice. We actually had some blue skies. And you could just notice just a few wisps of anvil cirrus on the horizon from those thunderstorms right here. But other than that, not too bad. Let's look at what we got going on. Yeah, we'll talk about the next phase, the severe weather that's going on tonight, as well as the severe weather that we may have to deal with. So right now we got temperatures generally in the mid-60s across Long Island. Warmer in Jersey with 70s. Of course, the alley is at 72 degrees, so not enjoying those mid-60s in the alley. It is a little bit on the humid side out there tonight, so definitely feeling that humidity. 64 with a dew point of 59. Actually, that's not too bad of a dew point at Islip. They got all the way up to 79 today. And let's see, looking at Farmingdale, 66 with a dew point of 59. So yeah, it's a little humid, but not that bad, the humidity. Not that bad. Depending on where you were today, the kind of day you had, really, let's go right to the highs right now, and you'll see what I mean. So Long Island, generally speaking, if you were in Suffolk County, you had highs around 80 degrees. North Fork around 80 degrees. South Fork was cooler with low 70s. So you had low and middle 70s on the South Shore. And then Central Nassau, we had low 80s. And then as you made your way into the city, temperatures got up into the mid-80s for highs. And inland really roasted here. Even Westchester County roasted up into the mid-80s, it looks like. Come on, load. Mid-80s, yeah, upper 80s even. And then New Jersey, of course, around 90 degrees probably. Yep. Miller Air Park did hit 90. However, in downtown Toms River, it was 84. But further west, yeah, Miller Air Park, Lakehurst, 90 degrees there. Pretty hot. No sea breeze there at all whatsoever. So Jersey really roasting again. And as you go up, you can notice there's an air quality alert upstate. You can see even upstate, it got hot. 90 degrees in Poughkeepsie. Let's see what Albany got to. Yep, 90 up there as well. So, yeah, you can see the heat really build well up into New York here. So, if you think moving upstate is going to bring you a cooler summer, no, you're sadly mistaken. It will not bring you a cooler summer because you are inland. Unless you're way up in the mountains, you are inland and you're going to be hotter. You're best off, like I said, along Long Island has, like, the perfect climate. If you're in Suffolk County, man, or on the South Shore, you have, like, the perfect. I mean, yeah, I know you have the rainy days, but I'm saying about the heat. You're spared a lot of the heat, which is important, especially for somebody like me who has difficulty with it. So lows, let's go to lows here, and lows, yeah, around 60 degrees, generally speaking, maybe some 50s, 57 out in West Hampton. And Miller Air Park got down to 54. Still went from 54 to 90. That's quite a spread right there for the day. So let's go take a look at what the day was like at Islip today. And you'll see that temperatures generally were, in the 70s for much of the day. So it did peak around noon, and then you could see the temperature started dropping by the afternoon. Once that sea breeze came in, you could see it was also more humid earlier on. And then, for some reason, when the sea breeze came in, the humidity actually seemed to drop a little bit. And it was pretty comfortable after that. So once you got into the afternoon, it was pretty comfortable. Once you got past those noon hours, I guess, that's when it was hotter. We can look at Farmingdale, too. Also at 79, so probably have a similar profile as well. Meanwhile, we'll go and look at JFK. and they got up to 75. Actually, cooler there. They were on the South Shore. So they got up to 74. But we'll go to the other extreme now. We go and take a look at what it was like at Miller Air Park in New Jersey, where, like I said, 90 degrees in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River, and they were roasting all day long. A little more humid, too. Very humid. They even had some more clouds around, too, because, again, you just had more of that poor quality air, that you had. So, yeah, you could see, and then it really didn't drop until pretty much sunset. So, pretty hot day there. All in all, not the place you want to be, that's for sure. So, again, all depends on where you are. Let's go look at the climatology for today. And, you definitely want to be, you don't want to be in inland. That's where it's hot. So, Islip, they're saying 78 degrees. This was taken a little bit before. I don't know why this one's a 78 and the other one's a 79. High of 78, a low of 59. Still 8 degrees above normal for the day at Islip. Central Park got up to 84. The low of 67. They were 11 degrees above normal at Central Park. And Newark, 87 degrees for a high, a low of 64, and 11 degrees above normal for the day. So in all, pretty hot day if you were inland, but along Long Island, once you got past the middle of the day, it really wasn't too bad at all. It was actually a pretty nice day. It wasn't too uncomfortable at all. So let's now go and look at the radar, because you'll see that there are some showers and thunderstorms here over Pennsylvania, just coming into the. Probably can't see that. We're gonna have to go move this radar a little more. Maybe we move it to the Mount Holly radar here, and you can see there are some showers and thunderstorms, none of which are severe, up in northeastern Pennsylvania, making their way into the northern portions of the Hudson Valley. But the worst stuff, like I said, is going to be tomorrow. That's when we have to worry. And again, we have that air quality alert in effect for inland locations, and that goes to 11 p.m. this evening. It might wind up being extended into tomorrow, perhaps, as well. So let's go and look at the satellite, and we're going to give us the CONUS view so we get a chance to see what's going on across the whole country. And you see all that bright white over eastern Texas and parts of Oklahoma going into Louisiana and Mississippi. That is severe weather. That is the next round of severe weather that we have that's coming. So let's go look at the lightning intensity here. And you see, a lot of lightning going on here. It looks like most of it's in Mississippi and Louisiana now, and a little bit in East Texas, too. Houston looks like it might be spared this time, hopefully, because they're cleaning up. And then you got a lot of lightning also over here over Ohio. And this is the line here that we have to watch out for tomorrow. Looking at the weather map here, and we have an image not available. So apparently we're having an image with the weather prediction. So let's see, we're having a problem. There it goes. I don't know why it wouldn't load. But you can see there's your cold front. Here's your severe weather risk. Storm Prediction Center, we've got that enhanced risk in East Texas and surrounded by a slight risk around that into Louisiana. Actually, it's mainly Louisiana. Maybe a little bit into Mississippi there. Mostly Louisiana. And then the marginal risk goes all the way up into the Great Lakes, Pennsylvania, western New York, and a slight risk around the Pittsburgh area. All right. We move this into, now today we've had three reported tornadoes, 154 reports of wind, and 120 reports of hail, which, again, is a lot, quite active. So we're going to go to the storm reports map, and you'll see where all those reports were, though it looks like most of the tornadoes have been in Texas. But we do have some wind reports upstate. So let's move this to the day 2 convective outlook, and you'll see that we are now in a risk zone. Midwest, we still have an enhanced risk going on now in the Midwest, surrounded by slight risk. Marginal risk goes all the way through the Appalachians and then up the I-95 corridor. You see there, New York included in that marginal risk for severe weather for tomorrow. So we're going to look at the radar. We're going to look at this larger radar here right now, and you'll see that we do have thunderstorm activity. These storms look pretty nasty around Cleveland. And then there's some in Canada as well. And then we go down, and this is the really bad stuff here in Texas here. Yeah, we definitely have some, looks like tornadic thunderstorms north of Houston. Luckily, it looks like they're going to miss Houston. But they still could be causing damage. And then we have into northern parts of Louisiana, and maybe this is going to eventually go into Mississippi as well. But we'll go to the power outage and see what the impacts of these storms are. We'll go to poweroutage.us, and look at that. Texas is red again. So the storms probably caused a lot of power outages in these areas here. Bell County and Limestone County. So whatever was damaged. This is a little north of Houston, but we may have a lot of, I don't know if that's all CenterPoint's customers, probably. Let's see. Maybe some other electric co-ops here, Encore, are affected here. So parts of Texas hit pretty hard here by power outages. So let's go and look at the weather and hazards map, because we'll take a look and see what active warnings and stuff we've got on. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning around Cleveland. And that looks like a pretty decent wind gust right there. Come on. 37-mile-an-hour wind gust there at that airport. And then making our way south, we have tornado watches up in eastern Texas into, mainly eastern Texas. And then next to it in the northern Louisiana, into parts of Arkansas and maybe Oklahoma, we have a severe thunderstorm watch. We've got a flood watch as well, west of that. And then we've got this red flag warning for eastern New Mexico, and heat advisory for, we've had a lot of heat in Texas. It's been hot. And then look at this, winter weather in the mountains here in the northwest. So we're focused mainly on the severe weather. So let's take this. Let's get to the warnings here. I'm going to remove the watch. I'm just going to show the severe weather warnings, and let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we've got one active tornado warning right now with this storm right here. It's not showing tornado warning, but there's that red box which indicates tornado warning, and this is northern. I don't know why it just doesn't want to show the tornado warning. I don't know why it doesn't, but there is a tornado warning in effect for this area here. Heavy rain being reported at this airport, by the way, in Mount Pleasant. And we have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings around here as well. And again, it's pretty strong straight line wind here, 37 miles an hour wind gust. And there's probably stronger. Here's one with a 46-mile-an-hour wind gust. So some pretty strong winds with these storms. It looks like mainly straight line at the time that we have. And like I said, they've had some pretty brutally hot weather too. So what are these cities that are getting impacted here? Looks like these are in fairly rural areas, but let's just change the shading down a little bit so I can see the cities. Waco. Looks like Waco is getting hit pretty hard right now. But Houston has had, it's been terrible because there's still so many people without power. And they've had a lot of brutally hot weather. I mean, it's still 90 right now at this site. Let's see what we got in Houston Intercontinental Airport. So they got up to 90 today. And look at the dew points, up to 77. So they've had some absolutely brutal weather following all this severe weather. So you could see that they've been dealing with what they've been dealing with here. Absolutely just extreme heat and humidity following the severe weather outbreak that they had. I think dew point 79. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a dew point of 80 in there. I mean, that's just crazy kind of humidity. It really is. And, I don't know what's being done there, but there should be places, people who can't afford them should be given a place to stay if they don't have power, because that's just not, livable conditions in that kind of heat. But we are talking about Texas after all, not a state that has a great record of providing services for its residents. It's like more of your, the Texas spirit is, you're on your own. Every man for himself. That's the Texas spirit, not exactly a good spirit to have in these changing times that we are living in here with the climate. So, they've got a lot of heat up there. Luckily, we're not dealing with any of that crazy heat. But let's go and you can see. I'm going to just put the let's take a look at, see how much rainfall has been falling in that area, too. We'll go to, we'll do 24-hour precipitation and see how much rainfall has fallen, because I have a feeling they've had a lot of rain, hence the flood watches that are in effect as well. Let's see what we've got here. Nothing too crazy. But again, the humidity, the dew point, These dew points are very high. You can see these high dew points throughout the south here. I'm showing all the dew points here. The east doesn't look nearly as bad with the dew points. And then north, you can see the much drier air over here. So where these two air masses meet is where you have all the severe weather. Look at all that, all those low dew points in the western two-thirds of the country there. So let's shut this down, and we're going to go look now at the models here. Take a look and see what we've got coming up. So as we head into tomorrow, we have this cold front coming. This is the GFS. All right. Front comes through, and this is the GF of this low-resolution model. Again, this is the 18Z. I'm just going to use the 12Z because the 18Z lately, every time it's been a little off. So, and then we have a nice Friday behind that front, and then we have to watch for Saturday, perhaps Saturday night to Sunday, perhaps some rain, then a break, and then Monday will look like a better chance of rain right now with this low pressure area here that could come on through. All right, we're going to talk more about the weekend on Thursday nights. Actually, yeah, tomorrow night's weather update. We'll talk more about the weekend. But I'm more focused on the severe weather right now, the risk that we have for us. All right, let's look at the 700 to 300 humidity here. And you can see, yeah, we're in the brown. That's why. But see, the humidity is going to come up tomorrow. We're going to get into higher humidity air, and that's going to help fuel the storms. Then drier air winds up moving in for Friday. So this is all the stuff that we've got to be concerned about here. Let's go to the HRRR next. And hopefully we do have the 0Z HRRR. We had some issues with some of the model runs. Luckily they're coming in now, but we had like missing runs and missing times and stuff. So for tomorrow, it doesn't show that much happening. The activity in eastern Pennsylvania falls apart. But then here comes this batch of activity. And the models seem to be trending to move this in the late morning to early afternoon hours now. And you can see a bunch of severe weather just pops up right over some pretty intense thunderstorms just kind of develop over eastern Pennsylvania and move in. The thing is, we don't have the full heat of the day, so these storms may not get their full potential. But these storms could be severe. You see the V in the isobar, so that indicates the risk of severe weather. And then it's done by the afternoon and the evening, and the evening looks fairly dry. So it's not like it's going to be a rainy day tomorrow, but there will be a period probably ranging from between 9, 10 in the morning to around maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon that we have to watch out for these thunderstorms. And then for Friday, much more improving conditions behind that front there. All right, this is the HRRR run. Looking at the dew points, you will see that humidity start surging into the area. You can see the really high humidity for tomorrow here. Dew points soar into the 60s, so tomorrow will be very humid compared to today. You're definitely going to feel the humidity. All right, southwest winds to start, and then by the afternoon, still kind of dealing with the southerly flow a little bit. So the humidity doesn't go away by the evening. It's not until we get to it Friday that we see the drier air get in, though. You can see this front is so weak, it kind of just washes out over South Jersey. So the drier air is going to get in, but the driest air is going to be probably over western parts of Long Island, and then northern New Jersey, Hudson Valley, getting into that drier air according to this HRRR model here. Temperatures are also going to be pretty hot tomorrow, so we're not going to really go much below the 60s tonight. And then tomorrow, we do have the storms that probably will help to keep the temperatures down. But I still think a lot of areas could see 80 degrees if we get enough sunshine before that happens. And, of course, the hotter it gets, the more likely the worse the storms are going to be. And the storms kind of cool things off for the afternoon, so it has trouble recovering, but I'm still think we might see us get back close to 80 in the afternoon. It's going to be steamy tomorrow, not going to be a nice day to walk around. And then temperatures don't really drop all that much tomorrow night. And then on Friday, it's going to be pretty warm. We're going to have temperatures probably get back up into the low to mid-80s again. So it's going to wind up being pretty warm Friday. And there will be sea breezes in the afternoon, but it's going to be a warm one for Friday. Not really that much cooler behind the front. Any really cooler air is really kept way upstate. So you see that here. Just a weak. The front is not really that strong of a front. And that's the thing. Not that strong of a front, but it's enough that it could, if this was a really much stronger high like we were originally envisioning, we'd probably have a much better risk of severe weather. But this front is not the strongest front that we're going to have. Let's go to the NAM3, which should give us enough. It gives us 24 hours, so we're going to be able to look at this. Actually, I'm going to keep it on the temperatures. So let's see what the NAM does here with temperatures and dew points as well. I'm going to kind of look at this one and see what it does, because every model is a little different, and that kind of, you can see we're kind of staying in the, we only have out the, kind of looks like the HRRR. Let's go look at the radar presentation here, and you can see here's a few cells over there. Here we are at 8, just a little light rain, and then, yeah, it develops one strong cell right around noon that would move over the city and Nassau County. But these cells could pop up anywhere. But I don't really see like a well-defined line forming. But the models could be underdoing it. Keep that in mind. The models could be underdoing the risk. We are dealing with a lot of humidity, and that's why we're seeing the potential here. It's not really all that impressive on this NAM model at all. And of course, the rainfall we get from these would be scattered in nature. So as far as the total accumulated precip goes, it would be very scattered wherever the storm hits. Generally, we can look at the HRRR as well, and show this as well, and you'll see wherever the storm hits, wherever the heavy thunderstorm hits, could be as much as an inch of rain. But where a thunderstorm doesn't hit, it might be as little as less than a quarter of an inch. So I have to keep, it's really hard to predict when you're dealing with thunderstorms that are, scattered about wherever they pop up, Let's go and look at another model for the short range, HDRPS. Let's look at this one and see what this model does here. This is another model I like to use. So let's go ahead and look at this. So HDRPS, definitely more impressive, and you can see it's got like some storms popping up. And then we get some more activity here popping up later in the afternoon. So the HDRPS lingers it into the afternoon, and it honestly wouldn't surprise me to see these storms linger a little later into the afternoon. The models want to cut them off too early, I think. I think you're going to have that risk of thunderstorms right through probably 8 o'clock or so, and perhaps even later. This model's showing even later risk of thunderstorms because you just have all that humidity remaining in the air, and when you have humidity, you have a warm, humid air mass around, and if the sun's, let's say you have a thunderstorm and then the sun comes back out again, the ground's wet, that's going to help fuel some more thunderstorms. So I'm not necessarily agreeing here. I think we're going to have a chance of thunderstorms through the day. I'm curious to see what the Weather Service is saying with their forecast. I'm kind of curious if they kept the chance between 2 p.m. and then a chance after 2. All right, good. So, and don't be surprised if they put us in a severe thunderstorm watch, perhaps, as well. That's another thing that could wind up happening. We could also look at the FV3 model as well, which, again, bring the activity through in the morning, and they're not really doing much later on. And look at what the FV3 does. It actually develops some more activity in the evening. So as long as that humid air kind of sticks around, and, you have this slow-moving front that's not moving all that fast. You could see even by oh, this is just Tenzing. Thursday. It doesn't go as far, 2 points. But you have this slow-moving front that doesn't move that fast. It's something that has to be watched. Let's see what the RGEM has. RGEM looks bad. RGEM looks really bad. So, yeah, we're going to have to watch tomorrow and see what happens for sure. But there's that risk there. It's very hard to say exactly what's going to happen, but we are in that marginal risk, and there's a good possibility that our area might be put under a severe thunderstorm watch tomorrow, given the humidity in the air that we have. So let's just go ahead and look at skies. Obviously, we'll have the clouds around, more clouds tomorrow, billowing cumulonimbus clouds, some cirrus. And then Friday, we try to clear it out a little bit, though. The RGEM's a little slow clearing it out. May have to wait till like 2 or 3 o'clock for it to finally clear out. Again, because it's slow with moving this front along. If we look at the GFS model, which is a low resolution, it moves it along. Maybe moves it along a little bit faster, but generally you're going to probably start the day with clouds on Friday and then have increasing sunshine by early afternoon, probably. But yeah, we have to watch this severe threat for tomorrow. There's one other thing we're going to go to here, and that's Event 2 Sky, and use our thunderstorms, our CAPE, because there is CAPE tomorrow, and decent amount of it too. So 5 a.m. not too much. 8 o'clock, start seeing it moving from the. I'll pull this out a little bit. Start moving it over the Hudson Valley. 11 o'clock, here we are. It's mostly north of the city and a little bit over Long Island. And then we still have some of it lingering around here. 2 o'clock. 5 o'clock actually builds back again for 8 o'clock. So look at that. A decent amount of Cape right there. So we're going to, again, have to watch for the possibility of more thunderstorms even into the evening with this Cape lingering around. As long as we have that humid air around. This is the lifted index, by the way. You can see the best lift is going to be obviously the north and the west. We have the coastal influence on Long Island. When we look at our temperatures for tomorrow, you do see the sea breeze being broken up a little bit by some of these thunderstorms, and the wind's going to the west. But then the sea breeze comes back more toward the afternoon. So, yeah, we're going to have to really watch this closely for tomorrow. Tomorrow could be pretty active and a pretty interesting day. There is windy.com as well, which has some parameters too. This is the European model that we can use here for thunderstorm activity. And let's see, I gotta go to the menu here. We can pick something here. Let's see what we got here. And wet bulb temperature actually is an interesting thing. Kind of shows you the humidity here that you're having in the air here. And you see that humidity increase as we go into tomorrow. Shades get darker, which means more humidity in the air. Let's go ahead and look at. This is a thunderstorm risk here that we have here. Again, this is a longer range model of the Euro. It has it mostly off to the west. But you see, even in the evening, we still have that risk for thunderstorms. It doesn't really go away until later. Doesn't go away until later. So, still till I think about 8 or 9 o'clock, we still have to be on guard. And they also have Cape here too. So this is a look at the Cape index here, and we see that we have the best Cape's going to be again inland. But we do have decent amount even in the afternoon here. So, I wouldn't write. I think we're going to have to be on guard for severe weather till sunset tomorrow, probably. I honestly think so because of the slow movement of this front. That's honestly what I think. So, even though what they're saying is it's the worst of it's going to be earlier on, I think we're going to see a good possibility that we could see some more severe weather over our area tomorrow. I really do. Let's see if we can get back the NAM. So you can go to the NAM 12 as well. Let's see what the NAM 12 has for tomorrow as well. We have a little more of that. It goes a little further out. It doesn't look impressive on the NAM 12, but, I'm not necessarily buying what these models are putting out, given the dynamics of the atmosphere. Yes, it's true. The center of the low is way away from us. But we have more moist air in place. So I think we need to be in guard till sunset. So that's going to be it. Have a good night, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.